We done ain't supposed to be dancing. Look how we gon' get in trouble now. Everybody cooping. How close we grinding down. It's best we go in a corner, but they got my co-neighbors there. You say you don't give a damn if everybody's there, but I have no interest to impress, cause I could care less if we dancing fearless. So let them post me on a Facebook story. More glory to see we dancing sneaky freaky. Sneaky link and wine. Sneaky link and grind. Sneaky link and wine. You never know who recording, so you must whine with your head down. Careful how you're choking, cause people are stunned, stories are wrong. All when you squeeze me just now, I swear I just see yourself on light. It's looking like a problem. Oh, what a novella tonight. But I have no interest to impress, cause I could care less if we dancing fearless. So let them post me on a Facebook story. More glory to see we dancing sneaky freaky. Sneaky link and wine. Sneaky link and grind. Sneaky link and wine. Sneaky walk up. 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 Sneaky walk up.
So we are here with the one and only, the lawyer of the Prison Inmates Association, Ms. Sjamira Roseburg. Can you tell us a little bit about the situation right now at the Point Blank prison? We know that this is day 7 of the strike they initiated since Friday. They sent a letter to the editor. So just give us, in a nutshell, some of the issues at the prison.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes, indeed, the prisoners are striking. Currently at the prison, the inmates are feeling that their safety is at risk, that they are not being taken serious. Don't get me wrong, if you do the crime, you have to do the time, but you have to do it on the right circumstances. At the end, we're still dealing with humans that need to come out after they serve their time, and you want them to come out better. So currently, they're striking because safety is at risk. Currently, there are 80 inmates in the Point Blanche prison, 80 males, and I think 7 females. Mm-hmm. And there are only 2, sometimes 3 guards that have to protect, let's focus on the males, those 80 males. That's not safe. That's not safe. So per shift, imagine 80 prisoners that need to be protected, and there are only 2 or 3 guards that are protecting them. And sometimes females only. So that's a major safety issue, and it can go wrong. And if it goes wrong, and we have seen it in the past already, it will go wrong tremendously.
Yeah.
And we want to avoid that. That's point number 1. Other than that, medical assistance, the proper medical care, not having to wait weeks or months to get medical assistance. The law is quite clear. You need to be able to receive the proper medical help. Yeah. When you enter the prison for the first time, officially, you need to be examined by a doctor. And that not always happens at this moment, according to the inmates, because yes, I'm not there myself, but what I do know is that it takes a while to get medical assistance. If it's at the police station or at the Point Blanche prison, it's terrible at times that it can go wrong and people get injured or an ambulance has to come and then action will be taken, and we cannot wait so long.
Yeah, and it's been going on for some time now.
Yes, indeed.
Because I'm sure that this had to build up to them actually striking. As far as management is concerned, I know that a letter came out explaining some of the situation. Were you able to look over the response from the?
Yeah, I scanned through the response, and indeed, management is stating that they're working on the points and that certain things are in place. And I'm not here to be battling and stating like, oh no, that's not true, or this is true, or this is not true, or no, they're not getting that amount of assistance. I'm seeing that they're trying, but the question is if they're trying hard enough, and if it can continue like this. And I'm of the opinion that that's not the case. I am of the opinion that serious action needs to be taken, and therefore in the article that came out today, I even assisted and brought forward certain points that easily can be adapted again. I'm saying easily because it was done in the past already.
And what are some of the points?
Some of the points are, for example, seeing that the prison is overcrowded. 80 persons are incarcerated at this moment, 80 males. And in the past it was even 70 and it was overcrowded already. We need to put in a system in place that will bring down that capacity. Again, don't get me wrong, when you do something wrong, you have to
pay for it.
Pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
So this, how you have to pay for it, jail time or whatsoever. So let's say you're in prison and you're serving that time. At a certain moment, if you have behaved in a certain manner, good behavior, you're following the task, you're assisting where assistance is needed, reward a prisoner, because by rewarding them, the others might see, prisoner A is getting a reward.
Good behavior.
I want to behave good as well. I want to be rewarded as well. And that brings down the pressure, and the pressure will also assist the guards. The pressure will make sure that the prison and the prisoners are less stressed. And at the end, for them, the time that they are serving will become less. In the past, the governor had the option to give a discount, like a 10% discount on a sentence, or a few months off a sentence. So if you perform work in the prison, then you will get a certain discount. If you behave well, you will get a certain discount. So that will bring down the pressure and you will be rewarded. And again, it's not a gift, don't get me wrong, but we have to understand that it cannot continue like this. And yes, a new prison will be built in the future. In the future is not now. So what will happen now? We cannot continue to violate the rights. And we have to remember that these people eventually have to come back into society. And you want them to come back better. So for the people that might think like, hello, it's not a hotel, they need to serve their time, they did something wrong, that's correct. But at the end, remember, they have to come back.
No matter what,
And I think we all can agree that we want them to come back better. And those points that I brought forward can assist in making sure that the circulation in the prison, it will go more efficiently. It will make sure that at this moment, nobody will stay longer incarcerated at, for example, the police station, because seeing that the prison is full right now, the inmates that are arrested now, officially, you're only entitled to stay max 10 days at the police station. But because there's a problem in placing people in the Point Blanche prison at this moment, because it's full, they're keeping them longer at the police station, which is officially a violation. And if the attorney would step to the AVRM, the human courts judges, then they will eventually again mention that, hey, this is a violation, the kingdom is not allowed to do that, Holland is not allowed to do that, St. Martin is violating the rights again, and we don't want that. So therefore, let's create a system that will make the circulation go easier.
In the meantime.
Or even, although it costs money, we don't have the laws, we have the laws for a reason, that if St. Martin cannot guarantee the safety Then we have to look at the other islands. We have Bonaire, we have Curacao. Curacao is not much better, but at least better than St. Martin. But Bonaire, for example, a good prison, not full. Let's see what options there are to regulate that the inmates can be transported for a certain amount of time so that certain things can be set in place so that eventually they can come back. I'm seeing that the Justice Ministry is doing their best with what they can do at this moment, but I think there's more that can be done, and that's why the previous policy that was in place can be put in place again and can assist the current situation. Also, the ankle bracelet can be put in place in a manner that it will have a certain structure that again will elevate the pressure that is on the prison at this moment, because the pressure needs to be taken off, and we need to be very creative in how that will be done.
As far as staffing is concerned, you just mentioned there are certain times you have 3 or less workers, but at the same time, I remember the VKS used to also assist. But as you know, the Justice Ministry is having some issues as far as payment of workers is concerned, and that's a complete different issue. But it also plays a role in beefing up the staffing at the prison. You think the ministry should also focus on that?
What the ministry should focus on is making sure that the guards that are working at the prison have the proper guidance and schooling on how to deal with prisoners, because we don't, it's not a job 1, 2, 3. You cannot just place a VKS'er there and think that, oh yeah, they can do the job. It takes proper skills to deal with inmates. It's a whole different department. So I don't want to delve into VKS or police or whatsoever. What I want to focus on is that once incarcerated, you get the proper care through schooling, through resocialization, rehabilitation, through connecting with your family members in the proper way, through being able to elevate your stress by, for example, having more hours of lucht. I don't know the term.
Free time,
airtime, because at this moment they only get 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, while the law states that at least 1 hour. At least is the minimum. Now we're making use of the minimum. So why not increase that amount of hours so that also will bring down the pressure? Why not increase the visiting capacity so that will also make sure that the stress goes down? Also have an intimate family room. You can fill that in however you want, but at the end we're dealing with humans. Also that will bring down the stress. On the other hand, if that stress is down, management will be able to focus on other things, and also the prison guards will be able to come to their job happily because, hey, you know what? There's no tension in the prison and I can do my job. Because now a lot of guards are scared to go to work. They're sick, they're staying home because they don't feel safe.
Yeah, it's a boiling situation that's happening.
It's a boiling situation, and it's crazy to hear that because there are not enough guards to work, inmates now have to assist when a fight happens. Like, what are we doing?
And where is that? The situation now, though, that the strike continues.
Because the strike, I don't know if you know what that really means, but they're striking, and that means that in the kitchen, they're not cooking, they're not cleaning, they're not bringing around ice, they're not assisting in other jobs that they have. So all of that need to be done by the guards, which we don't have, and maybe management is also assisting. But it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. And they also want to be able to just do their time in peace. but not by their rights being violated over and over and over, and not by every time a plaster is placed on the wound, like, hey, we're trying a thing, hey, family day is back, or hey, yes, we're assisting with medical care, or hey, the VE is in place, but at a certain moment you'll be able to get VE. We know all of that they're trying, but what about the other things to make sure that the pressure is lifted?
Yeah.
And I really urge for that old policy to
be re-implemented.
Re-implemented, so that will relieve the pressure, and that will make sure as well that the laws and regulations are at least followed concerning their rights.
Can the inmates bring the government to court?
The inmate can bring the government to court if they feel like, hey, my rights are being violated. You can start a court case against the country of St. Martin. Like, hey,
that's a possibility.
That's a possibility, but you don't want to bring it that far because you don't want that battle. But at the end, if you need to fight for your rights, you need to fight for your rights, and then you will look at other options as Europe. Let Europe know, like, hey, this is going on. The Netherlands, hey, the prison system is still at stake. What are you guys doing? Because I believe it's not only a St. Martin issue, it's a koninkrijksaangelegenheid. And so it's bigger than St. Martin.
It's the kingdom,
And if St. Martin cannot assist the other islands need to contribute, because, yes, we are in this situation.
And we're part of the kingdom.
But we're part of the kingdom. And if we go to the European court, they will look at the Netherlands. So let's put that pressure, let's apply that pressure, and let's make sure that we at least can diffuse the situation at this moment. Let's come with concrete plans. Like, okay, the timeline is this. I know that as a ministry, you cannot discuss every detail because it's still safety situation. So we're not expecting that. But at least take the concern serious and make it clear in what timeline the request can be handled. The phone situation, having a public phone to be able to call your loved ones are basic rights. Being able to be out in the open for a longer amount of time. It's a basic right.
Yeah, because you have prisoners that's there for years.
Being able to, for example, other than work inside of the prison, being able to work outside of the prison, because also that is a win-win situation for St. Martin. There are a lot of jobs that need to be done, but payment is always an issue. You can have prisoners perform the work for a lower amount, and then that work still will be done. And that, again, makes sure that the stress in the prison becomes less.
Yeah, because they have something to look forward to.
They have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I also understand that, hey, we hardly have guards, so how are we going to perform that?
Yeah.
But then, for example, maybe the VKS can play a role, or other security companies that can be looked into. But the law gives you that option, so let's make use of that option. Because again, the bigger picture is it will help St. Martin, and it will also help the inmates in reducing their stress.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think it's time for us to look at the bigger picture, for us to work together, for us to come with a timeline of a plan of action, and to do what needs to be done to make sure that until we have the new prison, what is the short-term solution, and what are the deadlines that will be applied to those matters that need to be tackled. And the inmates are ready to listen. I'm also ready to assist where assistance is needed so that we can do this together. It's not the idea to tackle the ministry, but it's the idea to make it known that, hey, they're still there and they still need help and assistance, and it cannot continue like this any longer, because they're human beings, and they need the proper guidance for at the end when they will be released, that they will be in a better position than when they came in. Else you will have them there a week later again, and I don't think that's the idea of the system. So let's do what we need to do.